Grade 8s, this is a simulation problem, typical sort of problem we'd have in 11.3 when we're looking at simulations. So we describe a simulation that shows at least 3 out of 8 people sharing the same favorite topping on their pizza. So they've got 8 people, and it's just what is the likelihood essentially of 3 out of these 8 people having the same favorite topping. So whether it's pepperoni, bacon, mushrooms, eggplant, peppers, chicken, olives, or pineapple. Now, the first thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be determining the potential outcomes, and that's the first step always. And because there's 8 different possible toppings, pepperoni, bacon, and so on, then we need something that is going to simulate 8 possible outcomes. And we always look at the shortcut of how do we create 8 using multiplication. So 8 can be the product of 4 times 2, so a 4-sided spinner, and then a coin. It could be also an 8-sided spinner. There's multiple ways of doing it, but it's always more interesting to do something with at least 2 devices here. So once you've determined that that is our it's 8 because there's 8 possible toppings, and you've got your devices, you move on to step 2. Step 2 is assigning the values. Now you can do this by listing it. I've just decided to list it, but I've listed this because I know what the tree diagram would look like. These are the list forms of the end product of the tree diagram. So H blue means heads and blue. So if it was a heads plus the blue right there, H white, H red, H green, tails blue, tails white, tail red, tail green. And I give each one of them a potential topping. So hopefully at this point you can think about, okay, well, there's 8 kids in the group, and really what I'm looking for is like, well, how many of them are going to get at least pepperoni? 3 of them at least get pepperoni, or 3 of them get bacon. Once I've assigned my values in, I actually conduct the experiment. I spin the spinner and I flip the coin 8 times. And I'm doing that 8 times because there are 8 people in the group. Basically what I'm trying to see is, okay, here's person 1. I want to flip the coin and spin the spinner to see what is their favorite topping. Then there's a second person, so I'm going to spin the spinner and flip the coin and see what their favorite topping is. I'm going to do this for all 8 people in the group. And then I'm going to look at the results, right? And I'm going to say, oh wow, as it turns out, in this first time that I did this experiment, I only did this once, there were at least 3 people who chose bacon or whatever it may be, pepperoni. So that is a successful experiment. So you check. Now it could also be like this person here chose bacon, and this person chose bacon, and this person chose bacon, and this one chose anchovies, and this one chose pineapple or whatever. This is still at least 3. The key, it's a really key word. The keywords, I'm sorry. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step 4. Then you report your finding. It's very, very, very important you state this in your answer, that you would repeat the simulation 100 times, at least 100 times. I'm not asking you to do this. I'm just saying you're going to state this. And you express the results in a fraction. The number of times the topping appeared at least 3 times divided by 100. So that's the number of times the experiment was conducted in this case. So I hope that helps, and good luck with simulations.